Good morning students. So today in this video we'll talk about the two important topics of evolution chapter, that is population genetics and Hardy-Weinberg's principle or law. So we'll start with this population genetics. Actually what this term population genetics means. So this population genetics, it is the study of frequency of genes in a population. So population genetics is simply the study of gene frequency in a population. Now the second term, that is the second topic, Hardy-Weinberg's principle or law. So this Hardy-Weinberg's principle or law, it states that relative frequency of alleles remains constant generation after generation. In a population in which the organism are reproducing through sexual reproduction. So this Hardy-Weinberg's law or principle, it states that the relative frequency of alleles remains constant generation after generation in a population in which the organism are reproducing through sexual reproduction. So in a population when the organism are reproducing sexually, then relative frequency of all the alleles, it will remain constant. Now there are certain conditions on which this Hardy-Weinberg's principle works, or there are certain conditions which must be fulfilled for this Hardy-Weinberg's principle. So these conditions are: the conditions which must be fulfilled for Hardy-Weinberg's principle is, the first condition is that the population size must be very large. So the population size is very large or must be very large. Must be very large. Population size must be very large means that particular population must have a large number of individuals. Then only this Hardy-Weinberg's principle is applicable. Now the second condition is that the organism of this population, must show random mating. So this condition must be fulfilled, that is the organism of this population, they must show the random mating process. Now the third condition which is required for the application of this Hardy-Weinberg's principle is that there must be no mutation. That means there should not be any sudden change in the frequency of genes or alleles. So there must be no mutation, and if mutation occurs, if mutation occurs, then it must be in both directions. Then it must be in both directions. Now, the fourth condition which is required for Hardy-Weinberg's principle is, so the fourth condition is that all individuals survive and carry out uniform, or you can say, and have uniform reproductive potential. So these are the four conditions which are required for Hardy-Weinberg's principle. That is, the first condition required for Hardy-Weinberg's principle is population size must be very large. That means that particular population must have a large number of individuals. The second requirement is the organism must show random mating. So the organism of this population, they must show the random mating process. Now the third condition required is that in that population there must be no mutation, and if mutation occurs, it must be from the both sides. The fourth condition required for this Hardy-Weinberg principle is that all the individuals of this population must survive and they must have a uniform reproductive potential. So when all these conditions are fulfilled, then only this Hardy-Weinberg's principle is applicable. Now we will study the expression of this Hardy-Weinberg's principle in next topic. Now, in expression of Hardy-Weinberg's principle, suppose if a allele, that is a dominant allele A, it is represented by P, and its homozygous condition, that is capital A, it must be represented by P square. The second condition, that is a recessive allele, that is small a, if we represent this recessive allele by Q, then the homozygous recessive condition, that is small a and small a, it is represented by Q square. The third condition, that is heterozygous condition, capital A and small a, then it must be represented by PQ. Now, as we know that in a gene pool, suppose we have three types of allelic pairs, that is capital A, the capital A, small a, and the capital A and small. So all these three pairs for a particular character, they forms a gene pool. Now, according to Hardy-Weinberg's principle, the relative frequency of all these alleles, it must be constant generation after generation in a population that is reproducing through sexual reproduction. So, if we represent these alleles in this P square or Q square form, then we have, that is P square according to this law, that is capital A plus, that is small a, they are represented by Q square. And as we know, in Mendel's experiment we obtained that capital T, one such plant, the capital T, small t, we obtained two such plants, and small t, we obtained one such plant. So one plant is homozygous dominant, other is homozygous recessive, and the two plants are heterozygous dominant. So we have here the two plants. So that is homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive, and such type of allelic pair will be 2. So we have the 2PQ. So this law states that when all its conditions are fulfilled, then the allelic frequencies that is relative allelic frequencies, they must be constant. So they are always constant. So this is the equation for this law, that is p square q square plus 2pq. These are the frequencies of alleles, relative frequencies of these alleles, and they must be always constant, that is they must be always 1. Now there are certain conditions which are responsible for affecting the Hardy-Weinberg's principle. Now we will discuss the conditions which affects Hardy-Weinberg's law or principle. So the conditions which affects the Hardy-Weinberg's principle or the law. So the first condition is mutation. So if some organism of a population, they undergoes the mutation, that is a gene mutation or chromosomal mutation, then it will affect the relative frequencies of the genes. So if a organism of a population undergoes mutation, then the relative frequencies may get changed. Now the second condition that affects the relative frequencies of a gene or this Hardy-Weinberg's principle is recombination. So recombination of genes during cell division, it also affects the relative frequencies of a gene or allele in a population. Now the third condition is gene migration. Here the gene migration may be concluded as the movement of genes or alleles on the gene, or the movement of alleles on a gene, or even it can be conducted in the form that certain members may come in the population, that gene arrives in the population, or there are organisms which may live permanently in the population. So it is of two types, that is immigration, that is moving in of alleles in a population, or the emigration, that is moving out of alleles from a population. So this gene migration is the movement of alleles on a gene, and it can be of two different types, that is immigration and emigration. Immigration is the moving in of alleles in a particular population, and emigration means the moving out of alleles permanently from a population. So both these processes, they affect the relative frequencies of a allele. Now the fourth factor that is responsible for affecting the Hardy-Weinberg's principle or law, that is genetic drift. Genetic drift. So this genetic drift, as we have already discussed about this genetic drift, it is by chance elimination of alleles from a population. So it is a by chance elimination or removal of alleles from a population, either through an accidental purpose or through a disease. So some accidental purpose like disease and all that, they may result in removal of some of the alleles from a population. So it is a by chance removal, that's why it is known as the genetic drift. For example, even we can say this genetic drift, it works on founder principle. It works on a principle, that is founder's principle. So this genetic drift, it basically works on founder principle or founder effect, we can say it. So it works on founder effect. Now what is this founder effect? This founder effect, it can be better explained with the help of bottleneck experiment. Now what is this bottleneck experiment? So suppose we have a bottle here, and in this bottle we have kept certain balls. You can see these balls, they are of different types. I am representing them with different colors. So we are having a bottle in which we are having the different types of sprinkles you can say, or we can say the bones. Now if we turn this bottle, we are turning this bottle like this, so certain of these balls, they come out from this bottle. So some of them come out from this bottle. Now these are the balls which are coming out from this bottle. Now what happened? If we take this case with the particular population, so if the members, we are supposing these are the population of an organism. Now there are certain organism which comes out or which moves out from a particular population, and now they move to a different habitat and different environmental conditions. So after that, these organisms, they get adapted to that particular environment, and they increases their population through sexual reproduction process. So now the first three members which came from this population, that is these three members, they are now known as founder members. They are known as founder members of this population. So this genetic drift, it functions on the principle of founder effect, and this is the founder members which forms a new population. Now the fifth factor, we have already discussed the fourth. The fifth factor which affects the Hardy-Weinberg's principle is natural selection. So natural selection, it is also responsible for affecting the Hardy-Weinberg's principle.